let's cover off the classic earnings stuff. You have a strong quarter, and then you give an outlook which, relative to consensus estimates, was a bit disappointing. What would your pushback to that market reaction be?
Well, first, I think you have to look at the triple play that we just pulled off. Ed, we had a beat on the top line, a beat on the bottom line, and we raised the full year guidance. So if the high-class problem we're solving for is we didn't raise the guidance enough, everyone can really relax, because over the last 5 years that I've been here, we always beat, and we have every expectation of doing so again.
Bill, I actually want to invite you to give the basics of what ServiceNow does. I think that a big portion of the audience know the name. They might appreciate just an explanation of what it is you're out there in the world doing. And my summary basically is you're trying to capture IT spend, the budget for IT spend from all kinds of companies.
Yeah, I think the best way to sum it up is think of ServiceNow as the AI platform for business transformation. If you look at companies today, they need a platform on an end-to-end basis, from IT to the employee experience, to the way they run their customer relationships, and the way they build new products. They need one platform that can do all of that. And what's unique about ours, we built it organically, there's no tech debt in it, and it's pristine. It's a sheet of glass that lies above the mess that's been created for the last half century. And the big movement today is now, what is the new frontier? The new frontier is Gen AI. And people say Gen AI, what does that mean? It means the companies and the CEOs that are watching this program need to optimize their processes. Every business workflow in every enterprise will be engineered with Gen AI. We are the first mover and the market leader in that category in the enterprise. So the future glide path could not be brighter.
Bill, the stock is down almost 6%. I note that there is some pressure in the market this morning because of Meta's earnings, and we'll get to that in a bit. But let's talk about RPO, because I think that gives some evidence of the backlog. RPO meaning remaining performance obligations. That's basically SaaS speak for backlog. You got a backlog. Why should the investor base be more positive about that backlog?
Well, they should feel really good that we have nearly $18 billion in remaining performance obligations. So that is business we have in the backlog that is yet to be fully recognized. So the backlog is there. We're beating on the revenue. Just think about this. We beat on the revenue by 100 basis points. We beat on the margin by 150 basis points. Our free cash flow was up 47%, and our gross profit was up 83%. And we're talking about, was the increase in the guide enough? And you just mentioned it, Ed, perfectly. There's $18 billion in backlog. So the company is really on a tear. And one of the reasons it's on a tear is you have great companies like Microsoft and IBM, as an example, that are transforming their employee experience with a digital-first support model, freeing up all kinds of resources and fueling innovations on ServiceNow's Gen AI. Novartis is delivering new drugs and increasing operational efficiency by streamlining clinical trials, research, and financial management with our Gen AI, and there's countless other examples. So Gen AI right now is a small part of the overall total. We're a $10 billion run rate cloud company, but the uptick in future sales in generative AI when companies re-engineer the way they run on our platform is unbelievable, because there'll be $500 billion spent on it in 2027 alone. So this is a really big market. We're the leader, and we're teaming up with the best in the business like NVIDIA, Microsoft, IBM, and others to create a bright future.
Again, Bill, the stock is down 6%, and there are reasons why for that in the short term. One of them is probably Meta. I know that you're the CEO of ServiceNow, but to extrapolate from Meta, part of the concern last night was all this investment is going into the underlying infrastructure that supports generative AI. But Meta is a case study. They're not yet seeing that investment in the infrastructure translate to top-line growth in the form of software, right? Tangible evidence that they're selling AI as a product, as a platform. In your case, you are only selling it as a software layer. Just explain that thesis. Like, should we be as concerned that corporate America has not yet worked out how to sell AI?
Absolutely. So let's differentiate. First of all, Meta is a great company. They had very good results, and their guide might have been a little muted in terms of the return on Gen AI. They're running large language models, and that's very important for the future of the world, and they're doing a great job. We're running small language models, which basically means we run our platform with the customer's data in mind. So it's rocket fast, zero latency. Because we're using the customer's own data, there is total accuracy, and it is very inexpensive. And that's why customers are buying our Gen AI now, because it's secure, it's inexpensive to run, and it's 100% accurate based on the customer's data. So that is what they're buying right now. We also have an open platform where we integrate with Meta, and we integrate with Google and Microsoft and all the other market-leading companies out there should the customer want to reach into large language models. And we've teamed up with NVIDIA, where NVIDIA, probably our greatest partner in this category, is running small language models for us and large language models with their compute power. Let me give you an example, Ed. Let's think about employees and customers. Think about Gen AI deflecting all the soul-crushing work that people don't want to do anymore. So think of employee and customer deflection, where virtual agents can actually do the work that people used to have to do. Think about software engineers increasing their productivity or their speed of innovation by nearly 50%
Yes.
by texting something in natural language and turning that into software code.
Yes.
And there's several other examples. But the point is, small language models are selling today. We're making a lot of money at it. And large language models are also available on our platform, but our customers are really
Yes.
teaming up with Microsoft, for example, on Copilot, and ServiceNow on our virtual assist AI platform. And
Bill.
we got a together is better solution for the marketplace, and that's what's selling today.